starting to recognise more and more people get on and off my bus, which is quite irritating because then we all walk the same way into work, and they're not like people on my team, they're just people I know and see around at work. So like new kid, it started like 2 weeks ago I think, he's walking down the main bit of road, which I sometimes go down if I'm too close to the guy in front of me right now, who walks down this part. The problem is here, that obviously the louder I talk the more likely he is to hear me or whatever, but it's going to start restricting me. The problem as well, obviously, is the fact that I walk faster than, by the looks of it, both of them. So if I'm behind them, then I end up catching them up. Otherwise, I feel like we're going to have to take off the evening tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I was up a little bit later than I perhaps should have been. Why are you so slow? It's like basically deep enough into a task that I didn't want to finish it and then resume it the next day. But that meant that I went to bed really tired and then woke up inevitably an hour later. Point where I was climbing into a shower at 2:30 and then being like, no, I'm way too tired, this can't be right. Back on track now, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday, we got the Friday feeling. We're gonna smash it today. Gonna finish off this fucking story and these auto mapping problems I've got. God damn it. And then we're gonna have a lovely weekend. Out for another lunchtime peruse, a bit of an explore. Heading back now, but I've just spent some time looking into bank accounts and realised that I'm being absolutely fucking mugged off with the current bank account that I've got. I am going to have to look into shifting some accounts around tomorrow. I'm thinking about setting up a separate savings account. So at the moment I've just got kind of my main account, my ISA, which is limited. I used to always have a main account, an ISA and a spending account. Now the Help to Buy is limited on how much you can put into it, which means that basically I'm using my main account as my savings account. So I'm going to set up a separate savings account. I'm going to upgrade my current account, which will unlock a better savings account, and then I'll be laughing basically, instead of at the moment where they're laughing. In a place that might be able to do a necklace chain thing. Time today, they'll have to come back next week. Annoyingly, it's going to rain and I don't want it to. Head into town in a bit and I was hoping I'd be able to longboard, but it doesn't look like it. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, I finished the task that I'm on at the moment. I think I finished it. Left a little bit of time on just to do some like last minute testing before I just go, yeah, cool, I'm happy. Dabbling a little bit with front endy stuff, but this time it's like front end input rather than front end output. Which has been quite good fun. So yeah, it's been jolly good fun. I was sent down a little bit of a goose chase though, because I thought that I needed some JavaScript at the bottom, and I'm like, this JavaScript doesn't look like it should be doing, like it doesn't look like it's doing anything. Is that because I'm a pleb? Is it because it isn't doing anything? It turns out that no matter how much I change that bit, we don't even need it. We don't use it. It's just this thing that should have been removed a while ago. And we are off, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meeting Laura at work. She's staying a little bit late, but when I get there we're going to go off and have a nice lovely meal in a nice lovely restaurant. We're expecting rain, so it's likely we might bus back, but if we don't and it's dry, Laura cycled to work today, so she could tow me home. Laura and I have basically figured out a deal where I will sacrifice some of my time in order to do things with her outside of work on a work day more. And that's what this is. It's the first one of those. And the compromise there is that I get to spend more time in the evenings working on stuff. Not watching things I might not want to watch on TV, yeah? All about give and take. Give and take, ladies and gentlemen. Check this guy's bike out. There we go. We could do. I could blast down on the electric one, and then you don't... Great. Careful. This works. This is beautiful, man. It's a bit like, you know, them Instagram where they're holding a hand and then leading them off into somewhere. It's a bit like that, but you're getting fit. Isn't that good? And I'm just stood here, swinging around. Is it irritating if I swing like to the side? Can you feel it? No. You are doing a great job, Robert. You are, honest. Whoa. It's when you suddenly speed up, that's when I fall back. And then I pull you. What? You suddenly start putting effort in and then, whoa. Concentrate, I'm turning now. Went down to town again today, unfortunately not by the great, cool longboard bike duo. It's actually quite a good exercise scheme for Laura, while I just get a free ride, basically. We went down to town and it's pretty warm today, and we did not think about that. We went out in jeans and a hoodie, and blimey was it warm. Also really unproductive because we needed to pick up some stuff which we couldn't find, I went to go open bank accounts, which I can open online. I only went to the bank because I didn't want them to send me a contactless card when I inevitably open up the account, but I'm already on the system as not wanting a contactless card, so that's fine. Laura went to go fix her phone because she's cracked it. She cracked it before. Well, she hadn't cracked the screen, but like dented it a little bit, and she dropped it again yesterday, and now it's properly cracked. So we're looking at getting that fixed. I've said to go and try the actual Samsung store rather than Carphone Warehouse, but we'll see how that one goes. And then otherwise we just came back, and I have just opened my bank accounts, and I'm about to dive into making my security service, which I believe is the next thing that I need to do. I need a way to like sign up for an account. Maybe I'll just create it just with one account. Well, we'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. Great fun, we've had a productive morning. The logging frameworks now in ASP.NET is a bit of a pain in the arse. And like the one that's built in, which you can add extensions to, you can't, there's no like static getter for it. So you can't like statically call a factory to generate a logger. You have to accept it in the constructor. And it feels wrong. This came up at work as well, and I'm like, it feels wrong injecting a logger into things, because it's not I don't need a logger to work. You know what I mean? Like it's not a dependency, so it shouldn't go through dependency injection. So I've been looking into a way to try and do that. It looks like you can do it by wrapping it in a static accessor factory jobber. It's one of them things that's going to be the same in every project that I do, so it's probably worth NuGet packaging. And I think we've NuGet packaged it at work. We've definitely done that and like some of the service bus stuff. So just to make sure that it's the same across all projects and stuff. And then if you ever need to update a setting on your NuGet package, on your thing, you update the NuGet package, update every reference to it, and job done. Instead of like having to make changes to every single code base. But yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. My hay fever's been starting to play up, which is quite annoying. God damn it. Graham's playing with the ball. Oh, she knows I'm onto her. She's been rused. In a little bit here, but we've had a pretty productive day today, ladies and gentlemen. I have been working on finishing off my first user story, getting things kind of up and running so that I have a nice like base for all of the other things to step off of. The last thing I had to do was add logging to the main public web page. And as I was doing that, I was trying to think of a way of making it so that it could be replicated across the place. I think I said this yesterday, didn't I? What I said yesterday, I made my own. Now I have the ability to basically say like logger.factory.create, which is what it should be. So in any class that wants to use the logger, it will pull out a basic implementation. I think it'll be the default implementation of whatever the factory is, unless you've configured it and you've used some middleware that I've now packaged and put into NuGet package and hosted for myself locally, which is pretty fucking good. It's taken me so long trying to figure out how to get this NuGet package to run, because it's a 2007 .NET Standard 1.6 DLL, and NuGet doesn't currently support that, so I've had to, well, I didn't realise that at the time, but I'm trying to package it up. I've literally done like an hour's worth of builds just trying to get the bloody build running. But yeah, so I've finally got that built, packaged, referenced within my own private VSTS thing. I added the ability to add packages to your VSTS to my project. It said on the thing that you could have the first 5 users are free, and then after that it's like £2 a month for the users. So I tried to get it, and it's like 5 free users, 1 paid user. Okay, now set that to 0, click OK, and it's like 1 paid user. I'm like, sorry? Turns out you're supposed to hit start trial if you don't want to pay for a user yet and you just want to use the 5 free ones. Could have made that more obvious. It could have made it impossible to put a 0 in if I wasn't allowed to put a 0 in, but either way I've got rid of that now, it's all sorted. Yeah, all I need to do is set up, I literally got this running like 5 minutes ago. All I need to do now is set up the release, and I've got the automatic build, so the automatic build goes on. Once that's ready, I then do a release of the NuGet package. I then need to reference that from my other project, update the build definition so that I can reference my NuGet package source, which I believe I've already done, but I'll triple check. And then that point on, that story is ready to rock and roll. Means I can spin up microservices, different microservices, different projects, basically using this one as like a footprint, as like a, not footprint, cookie cutter. All will be grand. So that was the plan there, ladies and gentlemen. It's gone well. Otherwise today we haven't really done a lot. We've done our general Sunday stuff. Laura's been working, obviously done like Graham or whatnot. We had a walk out. We always go out and buy like a loaf of bread or something. We had chicken potato salad for dinner tonight, so we had to go out and buy a baguette. But Tiger Bread, Tesco seem to do a way better Tiger Bread than Sainsbury's do, so check it out. Yeah, otherwise that's about all that we've done today. It's been a pretty quiet day, but getting stuff done. I've logged like 5 hours of programming today, so I've basically, well, it's not really a day at work, but you know what I mean. Also, Todoist is pissing me off because it just seems to be breaking. I'm strongly considering going to Microsoft Tasks, Microsoft To-Do List, because there's a bug at the moment which, if you add a task for tomorrow, it'll shift it to the day after tomorrow, and it keeps shifting it, and it refuses. Piss me off. I threatened to swap to Microsoft To-Do List, and Todoist has started working again. So I got a little thing that said, set your time zone, so that timing works. I'm like, okay, set it, and then now it works fine, so that's cool. I must have been in the wrong time zone for some reason. They had to do like an online reset, and then that got fired out to everyone. I don't know, one of the two. I know that it wasn't just affecting like my phone, because it was also doing it on the computer, so it seemed to be in like an account or system-wide setting, whether it was their servers or not, I don't know. Either way, my to-do list is back. Thank God for that, because Microsoft To Do is crap. I find that I'm very particular about like all of the apps and things that I like to use. I'm always hunting as well. If there's anything I ever go to the Play Store for on my phone, it's always to look for new productivity apps. I like a good widget, that's what I like, and I haven't got many of them that are like useful. I only really have a calendar widget and a to-do list widget. But yeah, it's just an insight into my life. I just like productivity things, but guys, let me know if I'm missing anything. I've got Slack for obviously like work communication, chat, team stuff, and like bots that integrate and talk to me. To-do list for my Todoist for my to-do lists. Use Google Keep for dumb notes, OneNote for like actual proper document notes, Asana for project management but not code related project management, STS for, well, a link to desktop VSTS, and then I use Toggle to do timing of stuff, and then Google Calendar. Am I missing out on anything? I think I've got the major categories covered with what I believe is the best app in all of those categories, but who knows. My sandwiches in the office today because I had like French baguette, which was really crusty. It was really nice, but it meant there was obviously crumbs were going to go everywhere, and I wanted to be able to control it. So I've just come for like a 30-minute walk around, trying to go around like the back streets rather than the main streets, because I've seen all the main streets before. I've seen most of the back streets before as well, but I bring myself to go back and wrestle with NPM, where there's a problem with some of the JavaScript on the page that I'm running, and I need to go in and run it all, and oh, I fucking hate JavaScript. I've always said that I'm like, I want to dabble in UI stuff. I want to get used to doing UI stuff. I want to get better at doing JavaScript. I've done like next to no JavaScript. I want to get better. But every time I dip my toe in there, it's fuck all cold in there. The JavaScript for this, absolute shitfest. Like, I have no idea. But I burnt one toe off there. The second one was when I was doing email footers, email styling. Bloody hell, burnt my other toe off there. Jesus Christ. Thankfully, the UI guy is starting soon, so I spent all of the afternoon, well, all of the morning trying to get my computer to run NPM. It just won't. It just like flat out won't. It's not happy about it at all. And then the afternoon working with someone else trying to get the JavaScript running. We kind of figured it out. We're using, I've used Knockout.js before to like drive data in from the Razor into the JavaScript, but we're using something called handlebars, or moustache. One of them is like a subset of the other. It's confusing, man. It's fucking confusing. But yeah, so, but we kind of figured it out. We're on the way, we're on the right track. We've just got to like mess around with some of the stuff. It's not quite right. Otherwise though, I have been fighting with, after shopping obviously, been fighting with trying to get my build to run in Visual Studio Online. I've got the build running, but there's no tests. And I'm trying to figure out why that is, and I've just had a thought. There was an instance when we were at work where some of the projects wouldn't run the tests. None of the tests would run in a project. And I was like, hey, none of the tests are running here, and I fixed it. Why was that? Either way, yeah, it's basically not finding any tests. It's driving me up the wall. I've literally spent the past hour and a half trying to figure that out as well. It's bedtime. Oh no, look. Graduation. Dun dun dun. Graduation with bag inspections too. We didn't have that when I graduated last year. Oh fuck, I graduated a year ago. Should make... God, there's police everywhere. Jesus Christ. Make lunchtime fun when I head out for a walk. I might head in the complete opposite direction actually. So this lunchtime I am completely dodging the other way that I went. You forget that Bath is like basically in the bottom of a big dip. It's like a big basin. Oh god, this hill's going to be steep. But I've lived in Bath for 2 years, been around it for 4 or 5, and I've never been up here. So I'm going to go. Jesus Christ, it goes up a bit, man. Oh, this better be pretty bloody good, mate. Well, it's not bad. Yeah, you can literally see all of Bath up here, and now I've got my breath back. It's pretty nice. Like I say, I've been up here, well, been in this city for years and never came up here and always wanted to. It turns out it's like a 15-minute walk away. Enjoyed that. It's just a bit of a faff to get to. But yeah, alright. I'm quite enjoying going out for a little bit for lunchtimes now. It's pretty good. It's a good break, especially when things aren't great. You know, when like you've got your teeth stuck into something a bit grim and you need to like step away and clear your mind for a bit. So today we have finally got our JavaScript all working and all nice. There's just one little tag that we need to get in now, and it's working, and I know how to do that off the top, literally. I know how to write it now. The problem is it's in that weird, it's very slippy here, it's in that weird world but where I can't run any of the JavaScript stuff on my machine, so we have to basically deploy the JavaScript to dev before I can see it on my machine, so I'm kind of waiting for someone else who I'm pairing with. He takes lunch earlier than me as well, he takes lunch at 12, so I've had to take lunch at 12. God damn it. This is like legitimately harder on the way down than it is on the way up. Oh, knees are bloody shot, man. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna die. I'm just get too old for this. Otherwise though, I've been thinking about this recently. I actually really like Bath. I like it as a place. I like working here as well. It was one of the downsides to the place that I now work at, is the fact that it's in Bath. It's a bit of a pain in the arse to get to. Which, I mean, the commute is a bit of a pain in the arse, but actually working in Bath is really nice. I couldn't live here. Don't get me wrong, I couldn't live here because it's too quiet. There's not enough going on. But like, there's just enough to do to wander around and go different places for lunch. And if you want to get your errands run, then you can. I need to get some face wash, which I'm going to go and do now if I've got time. I think I will. Where it isn't quiet, here, well, we have a fucking Hoover outside the window 24/7. Well, this afternoon we finally managed to get some stuff running. We got the JavaScript through code review, I believe, and we just need to deploy we ended up staying a bit late, but we managed to get it to the point where we just need to write some unit tests for apart from another bug. So the JavaScript's all functional, it all works, it's all nice and lovely. We had a problem with the previous page. Basically we use the same, the problem is we've got puts. We're using posts and puts to update the background. We wanted to use patches, but we haven't done that yet. And the problem is that obviously if I go back a page and then update something there and then push it up, then I've lost everything on the other page because I no longer have context of it. So I added in a quick method to swap it all over, so I can basically merge what's currently stored with what I have with me. Got it working, happy days. Having that in meant that we were able to test the next thing that we were fixing in the JavaScript. Happy days. and I just need to write a unit test for it, and I've spent about an hour and a half to 2 hours on it tonight, and it's a mess. Like, I feel like the platform is like really nice until you hit the web. As soon as you hit the presentation layer, it's like just really hacky. Not necessarily hacky, it's just less, the standards aren't as high. So the current like unit tests, for example, don't cover everything. Like they barely cover anything, in fact. And I'm trying to write a test which is basically asserting that a list is being sent to a mock. And like I need that function that merges the two things needs to be pulled out into something separate to make it even possible to test it. But there's a chance we're just going to can it all and go to patches anyway. So who fucking knows? That's that though, ladies and gentlemen. What can you do? I then came home, got really annoyed at people cluttering up the city. I've been in one of them like annoyed moods. Came home, had dinner late because both me and Laura came home late. I sat and tried to make Visual Studio tests run in Visual Studio Online. For fuck's sake. No idea why, can't get the test running for life of me. It runs perfectly fine in Visual Studio, you try and run it in Visual Studio Online, fuck no, don't get anything out. It's just like literally can't find any tests. Happy fucking birthday. I spent ages trying to figure out how to do the unit tests for the controller, which didn't go well either. And I've just been playing like Xbox for about an hour to try and calm myself down. It's been one of them days. I don't know what it was. It's basically like as soon as I left work, I'm like, fuck this. I'm just like angry at everything. Otherwise, we've been relatively productive. So at work at least. Tomorrow, well, the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. So tomorrow and over the next couple of days, we're going to be carrying on. We're still forging into whatever it is that we're working on my own project. Now I'm just giving up on getting these tests running in this project now. I'm like 90% certain it's not my fault. I think it's a bug in the test, in the step that I'm using, and I think it might fix itself over time. But either way, like at the moment for this build, it doesn't matter because I'm literally just doing one, and then now there you go, publish. It's a NuGet package. There may come a point later where I change how the NuGet package works, and then we'll find out. But it's a pain in the arse. I'm just 90% confident that if it doesn't work for that, why would it work for my project when I do it for like the presentation layer or security service, which is next. But who knows? That's just pissed me off. I need to run a build server locally or something, or in Azure. Then I can have access to my own build server instead of having one that's hosted. And I think half the problem is that it's hosted. See what I mean? I'm just out. But yeah, so we're going to we're going to get back on top of ourselves. Coming up to the end of the sprint, coming up to the end of the week. Happy days. Catch you later, ladies and gentlemen.